Hi, I have a new project for you today. This new project has to do with the Rubik's Cube. Remember that 3D puzzle slash teaser from the early 80s that was really big? But it has nothing to do with solving the puzzle, so don't fret. It has to do with instead of making a succulent plant that resembles this cube, such as this one right here. So what I'll be doing in this episode is I will be taking you step by step, starting from this 4x4, where at first I'm going to be cutting it to length. After I cut it to length, what I'll be doing is I will be drilling here in the cube for the soil and for the plant. After I get done with that, what I'll be doing is I will be marking each and every one of these squares right here on the table saw. After doing that, I will be doing some sanding, and after the sanding, I'll be doing some finishing. So hopefully this episode will be of interest to you, and if it is, stick around and let's get at it. I begin the process with a 4x4 by 8 foot long piece of lumber. I mark it at 4 feet before taking it to the miter saw station. I need to clarify that the 4x4 are nominal dimensions, but the actual dimensions are 3.5 by 3.5 inches. Once in the miter saw station, I make use of a stop block. This is just to ensure that I have a good consistent cut length for each of the units. In this next step, I mark the center of each cube, and I do so by drawing a diagonal line from corner to corner on one of the sides of the cube. This center will be needed in the next step. Also, in this step, I'm improvising a jig to place on the drill press to hold the cube in place when drilling. Once at the drill press, I place the jig on the table of the drill, and I also attach a Forstner drill bit. The drill bit that I'm going to be using is a 2-inch drill bit. Subsequently, I'll be replacing that by a 1 1/8 of an inch drill bit to continue the perforation, and then go back to the 2-inch to continue removing all the material. The depth of the perforation is going to be from 2.5 to 3 inches deep. As you probably noticed, my drill press had a bit of a hard time drilling this perforation, so I decided to use my hand drill instead. But as you can see, I had a difficult time keeping it centered, and what had actually happened was ended up splintering my cube. As you can see, the Forstner drill bit is designed in such a way that in order to keep it centered, we must rely on this very tiny point at the end of the drill bit to keep it centered. Otherwise, you're going to lose the accuracy of the perforation. The next step would be to take the cube to the table saw, where I would be making the multiple squares on each side of the cube. The blade was elevated to approximately like 3/16 of an inch to make the marks, and the rip fence was adjusted to 1 1/8 inches, and I did the marking like turning the cube over and over until I had all the sides marked. On this step, I did the sanding. So I have my sheets of sandpaper attached to plywood, and the grits that I used was the 80 grit and the 120. So lastly, what I do is I hand rub the finish to each cube.